First of all, I welcome Saloni ma'am for this agreeing for this webinar to reach. In that, our goal is to reach psychology aspirants and so that they can be guided because there are a lot of confusion when it comes to like information regarding field of psychology. Either it is like when you are practicing or you are going for some course. Nowadays we have seen there are number of people, they are attracted towards this some field of psychology, from engineering, from MBA, from other different fields of psychology. So that is the reason, because we get a lot of calls from students, from aspirants, from across different age groups. So I thought we should start something like that. Already we have done number of webinars with different faculties, and we also included like private practitioners and freelancers also, so that they can tell you about what is the exact picture in freelancing or different areas, like either it is schools or corporate or any other field. So thank you very much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation. Let me introduce ma'am, and then we'll start with this webinar. So, Saloni Priya ma'am is a counseling psychologist, founder director of Ummeed Counseling and Consulting Services, and trustee of Ummeed Foundation, an organization that works for underprivileged children in field of mental health. She is impaneled at national level by CBSC for conducting training for heads of school principals, and she is trained at Vimahans Hospital, Delhi, and she has been pioneer in initiating life skill programs for youth in various college and national institutions, National Institute of Technology, that we call NIT, and she is a master teacher trainer on psychological and behavioral issues of children for more than 1,800 schools in 18 states of the country. And she's expertise as behavior therapist, qualified in neuro linguistic programming, and rational emotive behavior therapist, cognitive behavior therapist, and she's play therapist also. She's a member of number of reputed associations like mentor and executive member of Community Psychology of India, member of Indian Academy of Health Psychology, life member of Christian Counseling Center Vellore, life member of Indian Association for Cognitive Behavior Therapy. And she is also awarded with National Builder Award 2019 by Rotary International, and the Women Entrepreneur of the year 2019 by Business Connect, and Stress Divas 2016, and Lions International Award. So she got number of awards, and she has immense experience in the field of psychology. And ma'am, we heartily welcome you for this webinar, and this webinar will upload for other students also, because of some confusion, like maybe there may be problem in joining for few students, but we are not restricting anyone. That is why we kept it free for everyone, and that will be uploaded on YouTube channel on of UIBS, and so that anyone can access at any point of time and go proper guidance needed. So now, ma'am, we can start with the webinar.
Good afternoon, Atulji. Good afternoon to everyone who is associated with this field of psychology. As very rightly said, Atulji, we have all experienced a huge surge of interest in this field. And for the last few years, and even more in pandemic, people have understood that psychological services are not geared only for problems. Rather, they can actually be enabling and empowering people for better quality of life at every age and in every sphere. And that is why when we started Umeed as an organization, I'm happy to share we complete 10 years of our work, and this is our 11th year. For the last 24 years, I have been into this field of psychology. And initially, when we started working as psychologists, to be very honest, psychologists were not accepted as a full fledged independent career. Most psychologists were seen as assisting a psychiatrist or working in a hospital setup. Now you see psychology emerging in its own right from in early 90s, when it was considered to be a very scoring subject for civil services. Today it has emerged as a subject which people have understood. It is not a subject, but actually it's a skill. In any career you are, you will require to deal with behavior of people around you, and you will need to understand your own emotions and your own behavior. And that is where study of psychology is extremely critical, because it enhances your self awareness, it enhances your understanding of human emotions and relationships, and it empowers you that in whatever field you are, you will be able to deal with your life experiences and life situations in a more effective manner. That is why in my career of last 24 years, I have been empowering managers, corporates, as leadership training, and right from time management to stress management. I have had a request of competency management, of training HR professionals on how to deal with interpersonal conflicts at workplace. And from there, I'm very happy that as a part of work life balance, I wanted to contribute to the mental wellness of young people. And that is how I approached universities and colleges and school. Since my specialization has been primarily on adolescent behavior, and I started doing a lot of research work on adolescent problems. And that is where teen suicides, which were growing at a very rapid pace, and even now is a very major concern, addiction, prevention of abuse with children. These were the prime areas which I started working on. And I'm happy that I involved all the stakeholders. I involved parents, I involved educational institutions and NGOs who were primarily working on creating awareness, advocacy, at the same time equipping people to be professionals to handle these. So, all my dear students, young professionals who are coming into this field, let me tell you that it is one of the most contemporary, much needed, more and more in demand. And anybody who is coming into this profession has to understand that psychology tries to explain what makes people think differently. This entire science of individual differences, how perceptions are formed, how do we perceive other people, how we understand people coming from different parts of the world. Yes, when today we are talking about that world is a global village, and any organization will have to train people to work with people coming from different cultures, different kinds of religious and authentic background. It is very important that you have a basic understanding of human psychology and behavior. And that is why what makes people think differently, how perceptions are formed, and in what way we can be a better thinker and a better positive person, a doer and a leader. Whether you are a part of a team or whether you are leading a team, whether you are in an NGO working with orphans, whether you are working with Tata Steel or a Tech Mahindra company, or whether you are running your own business franchisee or you are an entrepreneur with a startup, you will be very, very enhanced in your abilities with understanding of psychology. Human life is getting complicated day by day. There is more stress, people have more challenges to face, and competition is spreading in all walks of life. In such a situation, the role of psychologist assumes much more significance. In fact, during the pandemic, like never before, I think people understood the importance of mental health. Contrary to the general myth, that the moment you use the word mental, people think mental means it has to do with abnormality and madness. I'm happy to say that today, when we have started using the word mental health, we are talking about positive mental health. People have understood the importance of these two major branches of psychology, counseling and health psychology. And that is why the demand on us in the last 13 months of pandemic had made people realize what helps us to deal with unprecedented situations, how to overcome fear and anxiety, how to handle a situation where there is no guideline, there is no precedent, but we have to just move on. And that is where people went back to value systems, faith, and of course, understanding the basic interdependence of mind and body, whether yoga or meditation or mindfulness, whether it was Reiki and pranic healing, whether it was Ayurveda, everywhere the science of understanding human psyche was very predominant. And that is why all motivational gurus, all sales managers, people who are talking about making people more productive and positive, they all draw heavily from understanding of human psyche. So those of you who are contemplating on having a career in psychology, you're on the right track. To give you a little more understanding, just look at the screen. I have tried to put in some of the branches of psychology which today are available for study. Right from health psychology to biopsychology, industrial and organizational psychology, school psychology, social psychology, sports psychology. I'm very happy one of my student who was always seen as not good for studies, only playing. She was a sports enthusiast, but not capable of getting selected at a national level. Today, after her major in sports psychology, she is a fitness expert, she is a coach, she is a nutritionist, and she is practicing sports psychology. And she is in the team which has been motivating the Indian women's hockey team. So that is the kind of blending of careers are possible today with psychology. You can actually be working with various interdependent, multidisciplinary programs. So gone are the days when if you're doing psychology, you were either sitting for civil services or then you had to work in hospitals. No. If you look at forensic psychology, very, very upcoming, lot of research based. Forensic psychology is something which, just in a lighter vein, what you see in CID, a very popular Sony television serial, you actually have full-time forensic psychologists working with detectives, working with police departments, working with the entire digital mechanisms which are very, very advanced today. The forensic psychologists are also being hired by bankers now. The cross cultural psychology is a very, very upcoming career now. As I said, that since people, every organization is going to be working with people of different countries, cross cultural psychologists will have a very major role to play in orientations and trainings of HR team. So if you look at today, big companies, whether it is GE or ITC in India or it is Tata Steel, their HR departments are no longer only people with MBA in HR or personal. They are always having people having degrees from psychology. The very prominent ones which they hire are people from social psychology, behavioral psychology, health psychology. In the school sectors, when I'm saying school, I'm talking about the entire education and higher education. I am happy that for the last 20 plus years, I have been contributing to the educational sector by enhancing systems in schools where human behavior is understood, right from parenting workshops to training teachers on understanding developmental stages of children and how to handle with them, to common behavioral problems in classroom situations like bullying, children into addiction, distractions, temptations, social media. Gamut of things are a part of school psychology today. And starting from there, you can actually be working as a school psychologist on board of a chain of school as a consultant. You can create a complete training calendar for all the faculty members, right from support staff, teaching staff, students, parents, as a psychologist on board. And you would also be requested to be able to understand the various kinds of behavioral issues and provide interventions. So that is just a tip of the iceberg. Since we are talking about school psychology here in particular, many of you might be looking at a career to be a psychologist. I have just put in the kind of work which you will be able to get. You can be working as an education consultant, you can be working as a psychotherapist or a counselor, you can be actually working as a counselor and specialize in career advice, and be working with a higher ed university where you are a registrar or working under the dean for admission, where you are supposed to be in charge of the entire wellness of the students. You can, there many a times they are also called them psychologist and coordinator for student welfare, where from 19 years to 24 years, the majority of thousands of students in a university, as a school psychologist who has majored, you are supposed to be planning activities throughout the year for in creating social and emotional wellness on the campus. So psychological well-being is a complete industry today, whether it is working as a play therapist, if you are interested with working with much younger generation, younger genre, you can be working in special needs where integration, rehabilitation, inclusive education, where children from various learning disabilities or handicaps are being included in mainstream. I am currently working at CCRT, which is the Center for Cultural Research and Training. And as per the mandate of National Education Policy, I am currently a master trainer creating training modules for more than 50,000 educators across the country in government school setups, district inspectors of schools, who are supposed to understand how to implement national education policy. And a very major emphasis of national education policy has been shifting away from the mundane rote learning. It should be more skill building, it should be more building self esteem and aesthetic, and building up a sense of pride into their cultural heritage. They have a very, very special emphasis on involving counselors, social workers, and special educators into mainstream schools at every level, so that we can have a policy of no child left behind. These are some of the policies which has created a huge avenue for young psychologists. I would request any one of you who's looking at having a career in school psychology or looking at working into the education sector, please read the National Education Policy and you will see there are absolutely defined areas where they are seeking help of psychologists into education. So that would be the inroad for all of us who are wanting to be there. In fact, after this presentation, also my email ID is there. I'll be happy to interact and help any one of you who is keen on doing some more work in this area. If you want to come into training, you want to be there where you are enabling teachers with these understanding, it will be very useful. As you can see here on the next slide, I have been investing a lot of time in the last 15 years on empowering educators. Here you can see this is the CSR of Tata Steel Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, and it was government school teachers and principals who were brought into a mainstream affiliated ICSE school, and we created a partnership model where there was peer tutoring, there were teachers sharing resource materials, and it was basically including in, and it was an experiment where can we see that education can bring in better social parity. And that is where a bachelor degree in psychology opens up a lot of job prospects for you. However, welfare organizations, right from CRY to Hope Foundation, I've done a lot of work for Hope Foundation where I have trained their workers, their volunteers on active listening skills, counseling skills, empathy, because their work is to actually rescue girls. And after the girls are rescued who were trafficked, how do we bring them back to some kind of a rehabilitation? So it requires a lot of counseling of the families of these girls, counseling these girls to build back their self-esteem, and then again working with them to get some kind of a vocational training. And as you can understand, most of them are betrayed, they have very major trust issues, many of them are very suicidal, they don't want to live anymore. Even if they have been rescued, the families most of the time unfortunately are not ready to take the girl back. So, when you work with many of these organizations, you realize that there is so much more to work as a mental health professional to make this society a better place. So, right from enabling, empowering, and energizing, these are the three E words I have always used at Umeed as a platform, that when we have to educate people, we need to enable them also, empower them also, and energize them from time to time. That is why child and youth guidance centers, research establishments, rehabilitation centers, and of course CSR projects of major multinational companies, they have very huge avenues for psychology students. If you have done your masters, you can actually specialize and look at working into any of these areas and categories. As I was sharing with you, community psychology, health psychology, and social psychology, these are the canopy psychology wings. I would very strongly advise that people should specialize in this. Now, Community Psychology Association of India is very open to empowering people. They have been conducting a lot of awareness programs free of cost across the country with the literate and illiterate population, right from taking up social taboos as the gender issues, where a girl child is not allowed to be educated in spite of performing better, to creating sensibilities and understanding about living in harmony with each other, conflict resolutions. There is tremendous amount of work which we can do in community psychology. Social psychology, every aspect of your behavior when it comes to being with others. बहुत सिंपल कहूँ तो हमारे जीवन के सुख भी लोगों से हैं और दुख भी लोगों से ही है. Human beings are specially social, and that is why today, with single child families being the vogue, I did a research, and we collected data of class 1 level and class 7 level in three schools. And what we saw was that in class 1 level, we had almost 63% children who were single child. With each passing year, the number of children who will be coming to school, they would be single. And what it means is, I am not going to create any kind of a bias here. It is not that I condemn people with single children. I am talking here as a social psychologist that the behavior pattern, the dynamics, what we expect from these children will be very different from what we expected from children who were coming from families with 3 to 4 children. And that is where you will see that schools will emerge not as a center for educating into languages and literature or maths. A lot of this, thanks to the digital revolution, will be available. Content will be available dozen a time. But what will not be available on our laptops and iPods is one to one connection, one to one understanding, listening, stroking, smiling, feeling accepted. And that is where you will see that more and more schools will shape up in the times to come as center for socializing, where they have to basically create human connect of the child. And that is where social psychologists will have a lot of role to play. I have started getting a lot of clients, and I'm talking of India, not abroad, where this child was brought to me around 5 years of age, was about to be five, and he was not speaking. And it was that, ma'am, we have to show him to a psychiatrist. There is some major problem with the child. He doesn't speak. I observed the child and I started doing my case study. To give you a little background, the father works in a multinational company, brilliant person. Mother is a banker, again, very, very good with her academics. Both of them, they married and they were living in Bangalore. That is the time they conceived this child. Before the birth of the child, the father was transferred for a project to Sweden. Now, this child was born in India and within 2 months was taken to Sweden. The mother is a Gujarati married to a Bengali. Mother and father both are single children. And that is why their own experience with any very young child was very limited. Due to the circumstances, there was nobody else in Sweden. This new mother with a 2.5 month old baby, when she lands there, initially 3 months she's taking care of the child. Then they get a full time nanny and she resumes work. Now imagine when this child has the language development, the child starts speaking. What did he have? He had a Swedish nanny. So when I observed this child, I realized that in India, when this child was sent to a kindergarten school, a play group, there were 25, 30 children in the classroom, crying, weeping, wailing, shouting, playing. There was music. It was too much for this child to handle because what was his environment? His environment was an AC room full of toys and he absolutely left alone. It is not that he was not speaking. When he went to a play environment and a school like that, he got a shock of his life. He would run to a corner, bury his face into the wall, and keep shrieking. He was not crying, there were not tears. It was pure shrieking that I want to get out of this room. You bring him back to his house, he's absolutely fine, he's playing, and then you can record that he actually speaks a few mumble jumble kind of sentences. After recording it and listening to it, I realized that he speaks a bit of Bengali, a bit of Gujarati, and a bit of Swedish, maybe, and a little bit of English. Because in his language development stage, he was in Sweden. When this child was 2 years old and he was about to go to a play school, father's project ended and he came back to India. When he came back to India, he was 2 years, 2, 3 months. Parents thought he's too young to go to school. They were busy settling down, new job, again a new city. Father took a transfer and came to Calcutta. So they thought that ab Calcutta jaake hi isko play school bhejenge. Things got delayed, paperwork got delayed. So rather than reaching here in 2 months, they reached here by the time the child was almost three. In this whole turmoil, they never realize that the child is not speaking much. They would say, and the child would respond, or they would just do things for the child. They were so busy managing this child, they never realized that it is so much of delay in speech. The fact is, this child does not have a problem with his speech. The problem is, language input has been so scarce. When these lovely couple, I became very fond of this couple and they were in a bad shape when they came to see me because they had shifted three schools. Everywhere the teachers were complaining that your child only cries and he doesn't sit and he doesn't want to enter the class. They were desperate, and it was that your child doesn't speak, take him to the doctor. The doctor tested and said there is no audio or any listening problem which I can see, but yes, he is not speaking, you need to see a speech therapist. From speech therapist, they were told that I can only do any therapy when this child settles down and looks at me, he has no eye contact, kindly see a psychologist. And that is how they finally reached me. Why I am giving you this long story is to understand this child had no speech problem. He had scarcity of speech because nobody was speaking to him. When this couple came and sat in front of me and they were very keen to take help and they wanted to note everything. One day when I was explaining things to them, I saw both of them were looking down. I had to stop and tell them, please look at me. When I'm talking to you, look at me. And then the father said, no, no, Saloni ma'am, want to note every word which you are telling me. It's so important. He was actually typing on the iPad. And I had to tell them, just switch both the devices off. Talk, speak, touch, smile. That is what your child needs. He is not an abnormal child. And I don't think so he has any speech difficulty. But please speak to your child. Look at him and speak. Laugh, play, run. And it dawned on me that, my God, we will very soon have more and more such people to whom you will have to actually teach to do things which were taken for granted for children. When the mother speaks, she speaks Gujarati. Father, most of the time, is on the laptop. If he speaks, sometimes he speaks in Bangla. When they came back to Calcutta, they again kept a maid. This maid is a Tamilian maid. And I don't know why they selected this, because this Tamilian maid now speaks Tamil. Earlier, this child in Bangalore for a few months had somebody who was speaking Kannada. Which language will this child follow? People are speaking so less to him. Whatever they speak, everybody has a different language. So, this child, is he ready to go to school and start writing and reading even when he's 4 plus? Just a little glimpse for each one of you to understand what are the social panorama and the needs which we would have to cater to. And that is why try and see that you develop a larger canopy of your work. Counseling psychology in schools, counseling psychologists do many of the same things that clinical psychologists do. However, counseling psychologists tend to focus more on persons with adjustment problems rather than on persons suffering from severe psychological disorders. They may be trained in psychology departments or in education. A lot of people are now working in school psychology, coming from the uh, core domain knowledge of education. Counseling psychologists are employed in academic settings, college counseling centers, community mental health centers, and so on. Health psychology. This is a branch where, with psychology's contribution to the promotion and maintenance of good health and prevention rather than treatment of illness. They may design and conduct programs to help individuals right from stopping to smoke, lose weight, shed alcoholism, manage stress, and stay physically fit. That is why the whole world of fitness today has a lot of psychologists working. If you download any app which is going to help you to lose weight, you will see how much counseling and how much advocacy and how much information about how your body works and how your emotions play a very important role in your craving will be the highlight of the entire program. And that is where, friends, those of you who want to make a career in this field, it is a very, very open field, very fast growing, very dynamic, and becoming more and more multidisciplinary. So, taking up a course in counseling will be very useful for you. Taking up a basic course to explore health psychology will be very useful. Those of you who have done your masters and now are not only looking at teaching as a career but want to explore, these are some of the areas which I thought I should share with you. More important than the courses is what is the kind of skills which you are required. Empathy and sensitivity. It is, when you are looking at a school psychology career, remember, it is not a career of fancy designations or regular promotions, but it can actually give you tremendous amounts of satisfaction by making people's life more meaningful, more worthy. Psychology is an area in which you derive satisfaction in helping people to lead a good, balanced, and peaceful life. overcome their mental problems, and enrich people's social, family, and workplace relationship. And that is why perseverance, patience, strong analytical ability, minute observation of human behavior, strong communication skill, written as well as digital, oral, if you don't choose to be a good communicator, then for you to be able to make people understand and influence them for change of behavior would be a question mark. That is why willingness to help people is very important. But yes, beyond that, you need to have tremendous amount of empathy and sensitivity. I started a course for school educators because after dealing with several behavioral problems of school going children, I created another program. And that program was all about basic counseling skills for educators. As you can see in here, basic counseling skills for educators, counselors, social workers, and allied professionals. Counseling is belief in being unique, being hopeful, choosing to change, and create a connect. And I advocated that school teachers, whether they teach maths or science, whether they teach history or geography, with a little basic understanding of human behavior, student psychology, adolescent behavior, they will be able to perform very, very well. And that is why, friends, I have today the credit that more than 1,000 educators have been certified, and from educational institutions like Birla Public Schools to premium residential schools, the teachers have been given counseling skills so that they can understand behavioral issues better and deal with it. And that is why what we need mental health professionals today who can have very strong empathy. What is empathy? Empathy and listening are very closely connected. And empathy, if you build it up, it builds trust. That is why I called it a trust staircase. Generally, when we listen, we just listen and we are waiting for our turn to respond. But empathy comes in when you listen to understand. I understand your needs. I want to help you. I am on your side. What it means is, I am able to see the things from your perspective. And then comes, you can trust me because I'm not here to judge you or advise you or blame you or accuse you. I am here to accept you the way you are, giving you respect for your life situations. This is the kind of trait which is empathy. And friends, this is one thing which you can never learn from books or prepare yourself in 1 month or 1 year. It's a continuous journey. Any one of you who is listening to me and wants to pursue a career, being a psychologist, work with adolescent population, work with youth, be a part of educational setups, remember we are dealing with a lot of baggage. Our current educational system, with its pressures, with its limitations, with its excessive demands, have a whole lot of negatives which people would like to vent out when you are a school psychologist. And that is why, to be an effective therapist, I keep saying that there are many C's of counseling: care, concern, compassion, consistent, courtesy. Irrespective of whether you are like it or dislike it, being very courteous to the person who's my client. Many C's: compassion, concern, but only one G, and that is genuineness. You need to be very genuine as a therapist, then only you'll be accepted. Some of the skills which I teach: active listening, unconditional regard, respect, irrespective of any kind of ethnic, religious backgrounds, non judgmental, and warmth. These are some of the qualities which are much desired for mental health professionals. And yes, to take this forward, I know we have a time restriction, but I would just like to share with you a little insight. This is the kind of change you will see in scenario. Earlier, where schools were very closed about counseling and counselors were not allowed, today more and more schools are open. As you can see, some of the Loretos and Carmels and GD Goenka group and a Frank Anthony, which is an Anglo-Indian minority school, all kinds of schools have today opened up to training their teachers into psychology, behavioral issues. More and more, these are people who have done a 6 month certificate course with Saloni ma'am, and schools have been able to give that kind of a time and emphasis. They did case studies, they did presentations, and through a series of role plays and many of these interactive activities, we have actually been able to make children's issues be seen by teachers and educators and hostel wardens and administrators from a different perspective. So these are the kind of changes which are already happening in school psychology. Since there has been a ban on corporal punishment, this has been another area which has made a lot of teachers open up to understanding that if we cannot use fear, all our punishments, Atulji, was all designed with fear, right?
Yes,
बच्चों
yes.
को अगर बिहेवियर ठीक करना है तो यूज फियर, डांट
That
और
that that, that is the strategy that we are using since last many decades.
Absolutely, sir. And I did a series of these workshops across Jharkhand, Odisha, MP,
Right.
जहाँ आप देख सकते हैं, and we used to call them positive disciplining
Positive
methods.
disciplining
और
strategies.
हमने स्कूल्स में ये सिस्टम्स बनाए, रेफरल शीट्स के, चाइल्ड ऑब्जर्वेशन के, पीयर काउंसलिंग के, कि किस तरह से आप पावर ऑफ मोटिवेशन से, पावर ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग से, क्रिएटिंग अ विंडो फॉर चाइल्ड टू एक्सेप्ट दैट यस आई हैव मेड अ मिस्टेक, हम फियर हटाए. और ये फियर जितना बच्चों में नहीं है उतना ज्यादा हमारे एजुकेटर्स में था कि अच्छा अगर हम ये कह देंगे कि तुम्हें कुछ होगा नहीं, तब तो मैम बच्चे सारे ही करने लगेंगे. So changing that
Right.
mindset is what was our greatest challenge. And as you can see here, these 4 principles, they took it as a pilot project and they implemented it, and later on they published a paper. In fact, one of the school also got the Rusi Modi Tata School in Excellence Award for their innovative practices with children's behavior dealing. So, right from dealing with bullying to a lot of such things, teasing, name calling, abusive language, these are common issues in schools, which as school psychologist you will ask to intervene. और वहां आप
Right.
लेक्चर मत दीजिए, आप फियर मत इस्तेमाल करिए, आप ब्लेम मत करिए, तो व्हाट विल यू गो देयर? Those are the kinds of things, Atulji, at Umeed we created. And
Right.
thanks to continuous research work, as you could see here, right from Loretos to Christ University, St. Stephen's, to Amity Universities, all their campus, Lady Shriram, IGNU. I think IGNU, so every year I have more than 50, 60 students of IGNU doing masters who do internship at Umeed. And like today, why I was very happy to see your effort from this platform of Unique Psychological Services is you are making more and more people aware of the need and giving them information. So Umeed also has a similar vision that there is need for so many of us to learn, to collaborate, to do research. And we actually need a lot more research and understanding of the Indian diaspora, because
Right.
most of the psychological principles and theories that learning comes to us from US.
US
Time
or
has
UK,
come.
US or UK, the
You're
two
very
two
right, sir.
big, right?
That is why, as you can see here, a lot of these young professionals, they are taking these courses with Umeed, micro skills of counseling and therapy. And एनजीओ के भी लोगों ने इसको किया है सर, और
Right.
बहुत सारे साइकोलॉजी स्टूडेंट्स भी हमारे साथ ये कोर्सेज करते हैं. इनफैक्ट आई एम स्टार्टिंग अ न्यू बैच इन अप्रैल 2021. Atul ji, we will be sending you details also,
Right.
because I think the whole purpose of platform like yours and organization like Umeed is we are spreading hope, we are spreading possibilities, we are spreading awareness.
Right. Right.
And I think everything for me is it all starts with ABC. So A is our approach and awareness. B is belief. कहीं ना कहीं हमें बिलीफ है कि इन चीजों की जरूरत है, लोगों को धीरे धीरे समझ आ रहा है. सो बी द चेंज एजेंट
Right.
एंड सी इज कनेक्ट. कनेक्ट करिए, कम्युनिकेट करिए, कोलैबोरेट करिए, सो दैट वी कैन ऑल क्रिएट अ
Okay.
बेटर वर्ल्ड. And Atulji,
Rightly,
if we
rightly
get
said.
A, B, C, if we get right, then D automatically is do it.
Right.
Then there is nothing to stop it. So I wish you and your entire team all good luck in your noble endeavors, sir. And
Thank you.
there is any questions, I'll be happy to answer that. And I
There
would
is one
request,
question, ma'am, from
yes, sir.
Deepika. That is, what should be role of career counselor in schools?
देखो, career counseling is a niche area. Career counselors are generally working with students from class 8 to class 12th level, not below that. Class 8th, 9th level, especially in ICSC schools where children are supposed to take a subject stream in class 9th. So class 8th onwards, they are supposed to give them information as per the board, as per the various subject scopes. Then again, counseling has to happen after class 10th, because that is the time when children bifurcate into science, commerce, arts. And then in class 11th, you have to help students with career spectrum, understanding what kind of careers are possible, career information, and then most important is matching it. The career counseling has two very distinct parts. One is career information, another is helping the person to know his own profile and his skill set, so that what kind of career he would be best suited for. This matching is not only aptitude testing, it is goal setting exercise. Regularly, counselors should be able to create a profile, see to it that every child moving to class 11 should have a career goal. They should have a clear plan that after class 12th, if I score this much, I can apply here. These are the courses I'm looking at. If I cannot score that much, then this is my plan B. And these are the institutes and list of it. And all this should start happening after class 10. Many
Okay.
schools, they will only approach for career counseling at class 12th level, where there is too little time left. Already children have decided some subjects where they had no idea. Like this boy wants to do a course in design, wanted to apply to National Institute of Design, and he doesn't have maths, and he didn't know that for entrance exam maths is compulsory. He said, ma'am, for design I thought I need to take arts. And while I'm saying this, I would also like to add, for all of you who are going to be career counselors and all, there are some international certification available, but be very careful, because many a times career counselors are confused to be, I'm sorry to use this word, but admission agents. A lot of foreign
Right.
universities are constantly bombarding the Indian education scenario with advertisements, with scholarships, with all kinds of programs so that they can get students. Because world over, whether UK or Australia, New Zealand or US, people know Indians have a lot of money now. And this money, by hook or by crook, they will spend on two things: child's education and child's marriage. So these two are very huge industries in India today. That is why you will see every possible university today sends in a admission officer, and you have a study abroad fair happening in small B towns like Indore and Durgapur and Siliguri also, not only in Bombay and Hyderabad and Delhi. So we
Right.
are a very
Right.
huge market now. So don't get confused that as a psychologist, I am somebody who does career counseling where I help a child to know his profile. But I am not a admission agent. All these years I have had so many offers, ma'am, you join us, you be our career counselor. I realized, Atulji, I'm not a counselor there. I am a
Right.
admission agent who has to
And
somehow convince children to take admission in this university because this is good.
right, right, ma'am.
So
And that is happening because sometimes like they don't know the difference between psychologist and the admission counselor. So the word
absolutely.
counselor sometimes get confused with that admission counseling process, and usually
Absolutely.
and many times they get offers from there also. So that we have to be very clear because our work is entirely different. And I also get many students who like who told us the like same story that you told us, like that is happening. Another thing here I want to add, when it comes to the training and other parts, sometime because I am dealing with from last 15 years, I am dealing with students of basically MA and BA psychology students, either
Yes, sir.
teaching or training kind of thing. So sometimes they come and say, in schools we don't get our job, we have proxies and all those things, clerical works and all. So usually I what I when I observed and I found, if you don't know your work, so they will give something or other. So you have to be trained in your work, what you need to do with parents, teachers, and schools. So when you prove your worth, and then they will do, then you don't have any time for other things, right? And they will
Absolutely, sir.
realize,
I
they will
agree with
realize.
you, Atulji, because a lot of our young professionals, they go to school and they say, "आप बताइए हमें क्या करना है?"
Right,
देखो, a
right, right.
school principal does not know what counseling is.
नहीं,
So
ये
if
बिल्कुल
you,
सही बात है.
and that is why there is another question from Navjot Singh, Atulji, I'm answering that, that
Right.
how will you get practice of practical things? That is why you should do an internship. You should join courses which are not academic but practical in nature, like the courses which we offer. We give you case
Right.
studies, we teach you role plays, we make you do a work, we will ask you to go and interview 10 people and tell me. Till you
Hmm.
develop those skills and all, it will not happen. And that is
Right.
why it is very, very important that our students have to understand this. When they don't understand this, they don't know their own role and profile, then what happens is people will keep telling you, as you rightly said, sir, that you should do this. They will dictate you. And
Right.
then very common is psychology students, counselors, they are doing substitution duty in most of the
Hmm.
classes. Then they are doing discipline duty. Then they are doing all kinds of these peripheral work in the school community.
And somewhere,
So
somewhere because in usually now universities started to give like practical training, also are sending them to different places like yours and UIBS. So and usually what happens is, because they have theoretical knowledge, they don't know what to like how to handle clients, what to tell, what not to tell, and these micro skills that you were talking about. So that is why they don't know what to do. So it is very important to understand your work and do it practically through internships or trainings or workshops, because until unless you will not work with real clients, books cannot tell you how to practice psychology, because psychology is.
absolutely. Very true, Atulji. Knowledge is you can acquire it by your courses, but skills will be practicing this knowledge and putting it into practice.
Right.
And
So
that is not happening.
सो एक टीचर थी हमारी, तो उनका, बिकॉज व्हेन आई वाज इन पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन, सो सी यूज्ड टू से कि बुक्स सर पे लेके चलोगे तो कुछ सीखने को नहीं मिलेगा, ऑब्जर्व करो जो आसपास हो रहा है, इंटरेक्ट विद पीपल, देन ओनली यू कैन लर्न साइकोलॉजी. सो
वेरी ट्रू, वेरी ट्रू. आई
सो
टोटली अग्री सर. मैं तो हमेशा कहती हूँ, जब लोग पूछते हैं कि मैम आज तो आपकी फ्लाइट 3 घंटे लेट थी, आप बोर हो गई होंगी, मैंने कहा बिल्कुल नहीं, चारों तरफ तो किताबें थी. While you are waiting
राइट
at an airport, whether you are traveling, all the time you are seeing human behavior absolutely in its raw form. And that is where, as a behavioral psychologist, that is what we learn from, that is what we apply. That is where, when I am talking in my workshops, people say, ma'am, your practical examples are so practical, as if ये मेरे साथ ही कल हुआ था. हमने
राइट
कहा
राइट.
बिकॉज हम बिहेवियर की बात तभी कर सकते हैं जब हम रोजमर्रा की चीजों को देख सकें और उनके प्रति एक नया दृष्टिकोण और एक नजरिया बना सकें.
बिल्कुल सही है. अगर नहीं कर पाएंगे, देन वो बुकिश नॉलेज अगर आप देंगे तो वो इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं होगा किसी भी कीमत में. एंड
बिल्कुल
देन
बिल्कुल.
नवजोत सिंह का एक और क्वेश्चन था, मैम, प्लीज टेल
हाँ
मी अबाउट
जी.
सोशल क्रिमिनल एंड फोरेंसिक साइकोलॉजी करियर एंड व्हाट शुड आई एक्स्ट्रा लर्न. I think you have in previous slides you have told them about social
हाँ सर,
criminal.
ये तो मैंने थोड़ा बताया है, क्योंकि फोरेंसिक साइकोलॉजी आजकल बहुत बट देखो, आई वुड सजेस्ट सर, ये चीजें हम तब ज्यादा अच्छे से बता सकते हैं जब मुझे पहले पता हो कि आपने अभी तक कोर्स क्या किया है, आपने कौन से पेपर्स पढ़े हैं, आप किस तरह के डोमेन में जाना चाहते हैं. तो दे कैन ऑलवेज राइट टू मी, माय ईमेल आईडी इज देयर ऑन द स्क्रीन. दे कैन
Right.
राइट टू मी, आई विल बी हैप्पी टू, बिकॉज वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल्सो. बाकी तो देखिए, websites are the best ways to get information. When you want to know which are the universities in India who are giving you forensic psychology courses, just go on to the websites, get the information straight from the horse's mouth. Websites are generally most updated nowadays. So
Right. Right.
करियर इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए आपको हमेशा उसको यूज करना चाहिए और उस पर डिपेंड करना चाहिए.
So you can visit like most prominent universities, National Forensic University, earlier called as Gujarat Forensic University. You can
Absolutely.
visit that Navjot, and we'll try, because these are the topics. So maybe we, like school psychology, we will try to bring some webinar on social and forensic psychology also for you people, because ma'am, as ma'am said, the forensic psychology is nowadays students are very much interested in that area. We have already done few webinars on that with experts on you can also visit our YouTube channel. There you can get all the information about forensic psychology. And other thing that you have mentioned, ma'am, that was like Indian aspects. So that is my interesting area also. So nowadays, nowadays from my post graduation level, like 15, 20 years back, uh, I have started doing that thing, like, because the problem is, as you said, the all the books are, they come from US or UK, right? Mostly US, and then UK, whatever we read. So,
Yes.
and there is some time when you start practicing as a clinical psychologist. When I start practicing, then I felt people are not connecting to us, and there is a lot of like dropout and all. Though in books that is like CBT, REBT, everything is okay, but when it comes to practice, there is some lag. Ki people are not connecting to you. So, and that's because human behavior always happens in context. So when you ignore the context, either it is religious context or financial context, whatever it is. So because we as a Indian, we have like society where all kind of cultures are there. Like you are in a society also, like if you are like living, then maybe next door some Christian or some Muslim family is living. So definitely the culture, though you are living in a same geographical area, but the culture may be entirely different. So you have to understand those things. So you, for that, you can go like you have to understand the culture, religion, everything. And you have to read not only
Absolutely, sir.
psychology,
Absolutely.
not psychology books. You have to read like novels. You have to watch movies also. That will also help you to understand the human being.
Absolutely. In fact, cinema for a cause is a very, very powerful medium for us to educate people. So we use that a lot, Atulji, when we are doing our sessions, because it will really help a lot of us to identify with issues.
Right,
So
ma'am.
thank you
So
so much for having me, sir. It was
same.
wonderful interacting. Thank you, Navjot, Deepika, so many of
Um,
you who have sent in your comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us, taking out time from your busy schedule. Hope we will have more sessions and more collaboration on different things for the benefit of the society and the students. So we'll keep in touch. Uh, so thank you very much for joining us. Now we will sign off. Thank you everyone for joining the webinar. Uh,
Thank you so
and
much.
if you have any other queries, you can write to us. We will try to respond to you as soon as possible. Right. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.